Alright, everyone, this is literally Gary. I'm doing the Die Rise Easter egg for you guys. I've made a handy little guide right here. It's very easy to read, very logical, very neat, very demure. So we're just going to follow these steps very quickly. So, first of all, step one, we got to turn on the power. We also have three buildables we need to do. That is the nav table, found on the roof, the trample steam, which is just below spawn, and the liquefier, which is on the lowest part of the map. So we're going to build those three things. You'll find the parts they're near. Step number two, we need to stand on elevator symbols. So on top of the elevators that you can ride around the map, they're going to have little golden symbols. So there's four locations as I've labeled in this circle. That is to the right of the power, the elevator to the right of the power switch, the bottom ramp of Carter's floor. So you got to go to that ramp on Carter's floor and go to the bottom of that ramp, the elevator there. Just to the right of the trample steam, and just to the left of the trample steam. So one player is going to stand on that symbol. It's going to light up, and then in a certain order. So we have to figure out what that order is by trial and error, standing on them, seeing when they light up, and depending on how many players in your game, that's how many symbols you'll need to stand on. Once they're all lit up, you have the correct order, there'll be an audio cue, and we'll move on to the next step. The next step gets really interesting because we need to stand on four yellow symbols around the map and light them up. These four symbols, this is completely novel, I know, are by the elevator, right in front of the elevator by spawn. The next one's going to be in the little restaurant, little noodle area right before you go down the slide to the mystery box. The third one's going to be just above where you buy the AK-74U after you make the jump across. And the last one's going to be right by the Semtex wall by on the roof. So this is a pretty strange concept, but there's going to be an order that you have to discover by trial and error of people standing on these golden symbols, and then when you stand on the right one, it's going to light up. So depending on how many numbers of players, you're actually going to need to stand in that order based on that number of people until you get the audio cue. Step number four. We're on to step number four right here. We got to get a sniper rifle. You got to get a sniper rifle. Okay? In case you didn't hear me clearly, chat, that's short for sniper rifle. So we're going to get a sniper rifle, and what we're going to do with the sniper rifle is we're going to aim the sniper rifle at the balls of the dragons. Dragon balls. Z. There's two balls in the mouths of the dragons on the roof. You're going to shoot with a sniper rifle those balls. They're going to fly away. If you get no balls left, you did the step right. This is where the Easter egg splits, diverts. There's two pathways. You can follow Maxis or Richtofen. Today we're doing Richtofen. So our next step for the Richtofen side of the Easter egg is we need to pack a punch the Sliquifier. Remember that Sliquifier that we built? We're going to pack a punch it. To do that, we have to do a couple special things before we can put it in the machine. So first, there's a sign by that noodle restaurant before you go into Pack a Punch or to the mystery box, and we're going to shoot the top of that sign, the first letter on that sign, 10 times with the Sliquifier. You'll hear a little audio cue when it's done. And then there's going to be 5 glowing canisters around the map. 5 glowing canisters, and this box right here, this shows you where the 5 canisters are. The first one is about the SVU wall buy. There's some little dressers. It's going to be in the corner there. It's glowing. It's a canister. You'll see it. Shoot it with the Sliquifier. You're going to go to that elevator shaft that you fall through. You're going to go to floor 24, and in the rubble, there's going to be a canister. You're going to shoot it with the Sliquifier. You're going to go to the weapon locker, which is right before you go into the power room. If you take the falling elevator, it's a fridge right on the outside that you jump across to. You're going to shoot that canister with the Sliquifier. On the Sliquifier table, there's going to be a canister. You're going to shoot it with the Sliquifier. On Carter's floor, there's going to be a barrier, and outside the map, if you look through that barrier, there's going to be a canister. You're going to shoot it with the Sliquifier. And that's once you have all 5 glowing canisters shot with the Sliquifier, you can put the Sliquifier in the Pack-a-Punch machine, so you have a Pack-a-Punch Sliquifier. We're on to step 6, so now that we have the Pack-a-Punch Sliquifier, we have to use the Pack-a-Punch Sliquifier to shoot some balls with the Pack-a-Punch Sliquifier. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to spawn with the Pack-a-Punch Sliquifier, and these lions are going to be on the either side of the spawn door. They're going to have balls under their foot. the little statues. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the pack-a-punch liquefier and you're going to shoot the pack-a-punch liquefier at those lion balls 10 times each. One on the left, one on the left. 20 shots total, 10 each. They're going to start spinning. When the balls are spinning, you know you've done something right. Then there's going to be golden symbols on the ground. We got to find golden symbols on the ground that have zombies. There's like a little silhouette of a zombie on the golden symbol. That's step 7. So we're going to find 4 zombie symbols. And what we got to do is we got to take that trample steam that we built and put the trample steam on those golden symbols. So there's 4 locations. There's one by the radio tower walkway. There's actually one on either side of the Carter floor ramp down on the roof. So you don't even need 2 points for that. I just have 1 point because it's right either side of that ramp. And then the last one is at spawn on top of the escalator. So we're going to place the trample steam down on that, and then we got to fling 16 zombies collectively with those trample steam, with the zombie spots. And then you'll know you're done this step when the dragon on the roof breathes a bunch of dragon fire. So until you see the dragon fire, you got to keep flinging zombies on the golden zombie symbols with your trample steam. Now we're on to the last step, step 8. So there's going to be 8 mahjong tiles spread throughout the map. There's 11 locations listed here. I have shown drawings of each mahjong tile. So the top layer here, these are the cardinal directions. We have north, south, east, and west. And on the bottom here, we have the numbers 1 to 4. Now, for convenience purposes, they're all the same color on my diagram. In the map, each one's going to be one of 4 colors. There's going to be a direction and a number that's black, a direction and a number that's blue, a direction and a number that's green, and one that's red. And now, as you can imagine, we're linking those colors together. So imagine that north is red and 1 is red. That means our first direction is north. Say 2 is blue and so is east, then our second direction is east. So we're going to get an order of cardinal directions. Once we have the order of the 4, based on the mahjong tiles that we find around the map, again, they'll randomly spawn at these locations, so we'll go over those in a second. But once you have that combination, you need to get the galvanucles, which can be bought in the elevator drop down. And what you have to do is you go to that radio tower on the roof, and the 4 corners of that radio tower are going to each be associated with one of the cardinal directions. The one facing towards spawn, so they're kind of like on a diagonal seemingly. The one facing towards spawn, that's north. So if you orient that to be north, and then imagine that it's a compass, then what you can do is you can associate those, our code, and you have to melee the corners of that radio tower based on the code that we figured out. And once you do that, you have completed the Die Rise Easter egg. It will unlock the Gobblegum, and then it'll lock the Richtof inside of the Easter egg, so that next time we jump into Die Rise, we have to do the Maxis one. It's pretty novel stuff. So I'm going to quickly go over these 11 locations, and then we're going to go and do the Easter egg in person. So the first one is on the rail of the radio tower. It always spawns here. This is the one guaranteed spawn. There's going to be one that can spawn on the desk right in spawn. There's one that can spawn. Let me see if I can read my writing here. Oh, yes. The bottom right side of the spawn escalator. You'll find one there. The PDW, which spawns behind the trample steam on the other side. At the broken stairs, you'll find one there, right where you drop down from spawn. The tech spot where you can jump to the mystery box, that couch is going to have one potentially on it there. On the elevator drop down, when you're going through the shaft, on floor 25, you can find one there on the rubble. In the big red room, there, when you go up the one pole, you'll find a teddy bear. It's just to the right of that, right by the barrier window. There's one that can be in the maze where you can build this liquefier and all those tight-spaced rooms on the bottom floor. There's a shelf with a bunch of cans in a kind of a brighter lit room. You can find one on that shelf. There's one in the power room. If you open the power room door and then immediately turn right, there's a table in the corner. There can be one on that table. In the roof, there's a drop down spot that leads to a single elevator that you have to go down to Carter's floor to get back around. When you drop down to that, there's one that can be on a little plastic chair on that little room spot before you drop down. And the last one on Carter's floor, the kitchen in there, can have a mahjong tile there. Find those 8 tiles, match up the colors so you can get your order, and input the order with the Galva knuckles, and bing bong boom, you've done a Die Rise Easter egg. Congrats.